All right, guys, I just left the home of Samuel Norton, a 60-year-old disabled veteran living in a fifth wheel travel trailer that sustained extensive damage during Hurricane Harvey. He took on floodwaters in addition to a branch falling from a tree and going through the roof. I mean, this RV is it's not truly livable. I mean, the only word to describe his living conditions are deplorable. All right. Mr. Norton spoke to City Council just last night begging for some sort of help because FEMA will not offer him a single penny of assistance. The DAV, disabled, what is that? Maybe it's DAV, disabled assistance for veterans or whatever. I don't know. I'm drawing a blank on it now. They have denied him any assistance. He's reached out to several other organizations who have denied him any type of assistance because he does not live in a traditional home. It's a fifth wheel travel trailer. I had to stand in this man's living room. And of course, I had my sunglasses off because we were inside. And I looked this man in the eyes. I mean, all he wants is help. He just wants a roof that does not leak. Guys, this thing is worse than a leaking roof. I mean, the exterior walls are separating at the corners from where they took on water. You know, travel trailers are built out of particle board with the fiberglass or metal exterior or whatever. So I mean, this stuff is just expanded and it's coming apart. I mean, you can see daylight through the corners. You can see daylight where the floor meets the sidewalls. And it's clean. I mean, he keeps a clean house. I will say that. I mean, he's got a lot of stuff. Okay, but it's clean. He sleeps on the sofa bed because the roof leaks terribly, up in what would be the bedroom, up over the fifth wheel hitch. I mean, this thing is terrible. So his only income is his Social Security disability. He's 60 years old. And I asked him, I said, look, I'm not trying to get into your personal business, but Social Security disability doesn't pay a person enough to live on. If you draw a penny more, and my exact words to him were, if you draw a penny more than $1,200 a month, I will kiss your ass in front of a crowd. Yeah. And he looked at me and he said, $997 and some change is what he draws a month. So that's what he's living on. So he's paying his lot rent for his RV. And then, I mean, he does drive a vehicle that's paid for, but I mean, he's got his insurance. And then he's got groceries and he's got medical expenses because he's on oxygen full time for his COPD. So I stood in this man's living room. I looked him in the eyes and I said, Mr. Norton, just hear me out. I said, I'm not going to ask people to spend a single penny repairing your home. Because what we spend repairing your home, we could buy you a new home. I said, it won't be brand new, but my goal is to buy you something that is new enough to last you the rest of your life. And of course, he teared up. I started crying because he's appreciative. And he looks at me and he says, well, you wouldn't have to spend a whole lot of money because it doesn't have to last me too terribly long. And that's what I said, dude, you're 60 years old. You could live to be 80. We need to buy you something that's going to last you 20 years. My goal is to find you something that is 6 to 8 years old that's, reasonably priced, but it's going to last you. Now, I did ask him, look, in the search for a new RV and with your age, Would you prefer a bumper pull? Because the floor in a bumper pull is all one level, to where in a fifth wheel, you've got 2 or 3 steps you have to walk up to get into the bedroom. Um, Most of the time, even the bathroom is up on that level. And he says, oh, no, I can handle those few steps. And in all honesty, I'd rather you look for a fifth wheel because they're cheaper. You can get more travel trailer for less money. And he's right. Because fifth wheels don't hold their value like a travel. I mean, none of the used RVs hold their value like a car does. I mean, obviously. But a fifth wheel pre-owned is cheaper because, I mean, you have to have a 1-ton truck with with a specialized, fifth wheel hitch to pull that RV. And so they bring less money because there's a smaller buyer's market, I guess, that are looking for those. So they do sell cheaper. So my goal, guys, is to raise $10,000. I'm going to be setting up a GoFundMe account to help Mr. Norton. And I don't care if you can only spare $5. Or if God has blessed you and you could spare $500. It all makes a difference. Every penny is going to matter in this endeavor. So my goal is to raise $10,000. I'd like to spend $7,000 to $8,000 on an RV, then pay his lot rent for a month. I mean, not a month, his monthly lot rent for a year, and then maybe take the balance and just give it to him in gift cards, to where he can buy groceries. I know he's hitting the food pantries right now for food. He does have a little dog that's a service dog. So, I want to help this man. For almost 2.5 years now? I mean, we're coming up on 3 years in August? For 2.5 years now, this man has lived. I mean, he's got buckets and pans, and I mean, there's just a little path. I mean, he was like, watch your step, don't trip over that bucket. I mean, they were all empty at the moment because it's not raining today. But he's got these buckets there preserving what he does have left. All of his food, his dry goods, are stored up under the dinette to keep them dry. His oxygen machine is sitting on the table because it doesn't leak right there in that area. And plus, it's up off the floor in case his buckets overflow if he's not home and it rains. I mean, the man is doing what he can. And he needs help. I was at last night's council meeting for no particular reason. I just went. Had no reason to be there. And I heard this man's story. And my first thought was, okay, he's in an RV and he's got a couple of roof leaks because he downplayed it. Asking for help, he downplayed it. So when he's walking out, I get up and I go talk to him in the lobby, and he starts showing me, because my first thought was, man, I've been a handyman for years. I'll go talk to Mike or somebody at Kilgore's. I'll get a 5-gallon bucket of rubberized roof coating. If I tell them this man's story, maybe they'll give it to me at their cost, or maybe they'll even just hand it to me and say, here, man, go help this guy. And I was going to show up to repair his roof. And then he started showing me pictures last night. And the pictures don't do the actual conditions any justice. I mean, the ceiling, because of the roof leaks, obviously is caving in. I mean, it's a bad situation. This man needs help. And anybody who knows me knows that, I'm not a religious person. I do believe in God. I am spiritual. And there's a part of me that feels like I was there for a reason last night. I heard this man's story and it moves me. I'm tearing up now. It was divine intervention, maybe. I don't know. But it is my time to give back, and I financially cannot help this man. I'm barely surviving myself. But I know enough people who have the financial means to pitch in and get this man the help that he needs.